Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. The Chinese civilization boasts a brilliant history that spans over 5,000 years. Throughout this long journey, it has nurtured countless dazzling cultural achievements and advanced technological innovations. Many of these technologies were centuries ahead of those in other parts of the world at the time. One significant turning point in Chinese history was the establishment of the Qin dynasty. During the Warring States period, society was in turmoil, with regional warlords claiming kingship and ruling independently, forming the structure known as the Seven Warring States. After years of fierce conflict, the state of Qin eventually unified the six other states, founding China's first centralized feudal dynasty, the Qin dynasty. As a result, Qin Shi Huang became the first emperor in Chinese history. Beyond its political and institutional innovations, the Qin dynasty was also renowned for its advanced smelting and forging techniques, particularly in the production of bronze swords, which was nothing short of astonishing. In 1994, archaeologists discovered a batch of well-preserved bronze swords in the Terracotta Warriors Pit, with the longest sword measuring 86 centimeters, roughly the height of a standard table. By studying the length and structure of these swords, researchers could infer the posture and combat style of soldiers who wielded them. Looking back at the history of Chinese bronze swords, we find a fascinating trend. The length of the swords gradually increased over time. In the early stages, bronze swords were less than 30 centimeters long, comparable to daggers, and mainly used for self-defense. However, by the Warring States period, due to the frequency of warfare, swords commonly reached lengths of around 60 centimeters, and became the primary weapon for soldiers. In the late Warring States era, some bronze swords even exceeded 76 centimeters. By the Qin dynasty, sword lengths could reach up to 95 centimeters, making it difficult to wield them efficiently with just one hand. Moreover, the structure of the excavated Qin swords reveals a high level of craftsmanship. Each sword had 8 distinct edges along its blade. Using high-precision instruments, scientists measured the swords and were astonished to find that the margin of error between these facets was nearly zero. At most, equivalent to the thickness of a single hair, demonstrating the extraordinary precision of Qin-era metallurgy. Even more surprising, despite being buried underground for over 2,200 years, these bronze swords remained bright and shiny when unearthed, capable of reflecting dazzling light in the sun. What was the secret behind this? After extensive research, scientists discovered that the surface of these swords had undergone a process known as chromium salt oxidation treatment, a rust-proofing technique that effectively prevents metal from oxidizing. Modern humans did not patent this technology until the 1950s in the United States. Astonishingly, ancient Chinese craftsmen had already mastered it during the Qin dynasty. Truly a testament to their exceptional skills. There is also a widely circulated and intriguing legend about the Qin swords. It said that during the excavation of Pit 1 of the Terracotta Army, a bronze sword was accidentally bent by a 150-kilogram sculpture that had fallen on it. Everyone lamented the apparent loss of such a precious artifact. But when workers finally lifted the heavy statue and archaeologists prepared to remove the sword, a miracle happened. The bronze sword suddenly sprang back and straightened itself, appearing as if it had never been bent. However, this story remains unverified and lacks solid evidence. Additionally, the Qin sword has a long history as a cold weapon. Originally designed for close combat, soldiers used it to fight enemies at close quarters, even to kill. On the battlefield, most soldiers wore armor, so for a sword to be truly effective, it needed not only to be sharp, but also hard enough to pierce through that armor. Thus, bronze swords kept getting longer, enabling soldiers to strike from slightly farther distances. However, as swords got longer, they also became more prone to breaking, which raised a critical challenge: how to maintain strength and flexibility even as the blade lengthened. According to historical records, the Qin dynasty employed a highly specialized group of metalworkers. They possessed the most advanced metalworking techniques of their time. Some archaeologists, after analyzing the materials of the excavated Qin swords, discovered that the metallurgists of the Qin era had achieved nearly perfect proportions of copper and tin in their bronze alloys. This precise ratio made the swords both hard and durable, combining sharpness with resilience. A true peak in ancient metallurgical craftsmanship. Some experiments were specifically conducted to test the sharpness of Qin swords. And the results were astonishing. A single Qin sword was able to slice through 18 sheets of white paper in one stroke, showcasing an incredible level of sharpness. These weapons were not just fine crafts, they were truly lethal tools used on the battlefield. From this detail alone, one can feel the brutality of warfare at the time, as well as the Qin state's intense focus on military power and its ambition to dominate the world. It was precisely this military-first strategy that allowed Qin to rise above the other 6 states and eventually unify the entire country. According to historical records, after the unification of China, the Qin dynasty launched a series of standardization reforms, among which was the unification of the currency system. To consolidate central authority and promote economic circulation, Emperor Qin Shi Huang carried out a complete overhaul and standardization of the national monetary system. He divided the currency into 2 types, gold and bronze coins. Gold, referred to as high-grade currency, shangbai, was a premium form of money used mainly for imperial rewards and major national events. Bronze coins, on the other hand, were known as low-grade currency, xiaobai, and they served as the most common and widely circulated medium for daily transactions among the people. In terms of system design, gold was measured in a unit called di, which, under the Qin measurement system, was equivalent to 20 taels, making it a high-value standard. Bronze coins were measured in half-taels, ban liang, and each coin was inscribed with the characters, half-tael, manufactured according to this weight standard. The coins were round with a square hole in the center, a design that made them both easy to carry and convenient to string together. A format that was widely adopted afterward and came to be commonly known as the Qin Banliang. To ensure the successful implementation of this unified monetary policy, the Qin dynasty introduced a crucial measure, a centrally controlled coin minting system, under which only the state was authorized to produce currency. Any private minting was strictly prohibited and considered a serious crime punishable by law. This was done to maintain the authority and credibility of the currency, and to prevent disorder in the market. While implementing this new currency system, Qin Shi Huang also abolished various regional currencies previously used by the 6 former states. These included pearls and jade in Chu, tortoise shells in yen, and silver and tin in han, among others. This move effectively ended the chaotic currency system of the Warring States period and significantly enhanced economic integration and transactional convenience across the newly unified empire. On the cultural front, following the unification of the Central Plains, Qin Shi Huang ordered his chancellor Li Si and others to begin the standardization and unification of the written language across the country. Li Si based the new script on the large seal script, De Zhuan, originally used in Qin, while also incorporating the advantages of tadpole script, Keto One, a locally popular, simplified and elegant writing style from Qi and Lu regions. The result was a new script form, Qin Zhuan, also known as small seal script, Shao Zhuan. This script featured upright, balanced characters with simplified strokes and regular structures, and it was established as the standard official script of the Qin dynasty. At the same time, the Qin government formally abolished regional variant scripts, enforcing a uniform writing system throughout the empire. Furthermore, there is a fascinating historical figure named Cheng Miao, who played a key role in this evolution. Originally an ordinary Qin official, he was imprisoned in Yunyang after committing a crime. However, during his 10 years in prison, Cheng Miao did not give in to despair. Instead, he dedicated his time to studying and refining a new writing style that was naturally emerging at the time. This transformation would later become known as the clerical script revolution, Li Bian. His research eventually won the recognition of Qin Shi Huang, who not only pardoned him but also promoted him to the position of imperial censor, Yushi, a high-ranking central supervisory official. Cheng Miao was then ordered to organize and systematize this new writing style, which became the script later known as clerical script, Li Shu. Clerical script broke away from the complex and symmetrical style of earlier scripts. It was simpler, easier to write, and laid a solid foundation for the later development of regular script, Kai Shu. This innovation significantly boosted writing efficiency. In summary, the script unification and simplification reform led by Qin Shi Huang was a major cultural integration in Chinese history. It not only consolidated the evolution of Chinese characters up to that point but also pushed the language toward a more practical, standardized, and efficient system for generations to come. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.